Family Matters. Welcome to another episode from our show, Family Matters. This show is targeting every single member of the family. And today, I would like to target the teens and the tweens of every family. Those young people who we value them very much, and we expect them to be the future of our homes and our churches. So I'm asking everyone who is listening to please call upon your teens to listen. I'm speaking mainly to the teens today. And the topic is very important. Fighting negative body image. And let me start by saying some of the sentences that many of the young people are saying. I am not happy with my body. I'm not satisfied with my face. I hate my hair. I am overweight. I am failing every time. I am a failure. Perfection is defined by a number or a scale, and to me, I am 0. A perfect body would earn admiration, and I don't have a perfect body. A perfect body would earn acceptance from my peers, and I don't have a perfect body. A perfect body would make me happy, and that's why I am sad, because I do not possess a perfect body. I could never do that or this or all of this. I will definitely fail chemistry or physics. I will never enter my dream college. Does this or any of these sound familiar? If it does, you are among a very large percentage of young people who suffer from dissatisfaction of their image, or what we call low self-esteem or negative body image. Let me give you some stats or statistics while I'm waiting for your questions to come in. 46% of girls reported that their body image causes them to worry often and always in 25%. One survey from UK found that 36% said that they would do whatever it takes to look good. 57% they consider going on a strict diet, and 10% are willing to go for cosmetic surgery to fix their image because they don't have a perfect body. 25% of young people, most of them are girls, said celebrities have caused them to worry about their body image. 20% said that TV caused them to worry about the way they look. Social media have caused over 40% of young people to worry about their body image. Eating disorders becoming a very serious issue, especially among girls, because of body image. So the problem here that people are looking for a perfect body which does not exist. With the way some of you young people are looking for, there is nothing called perfect body. It's a myth in your head, unfortunately enriched by social media, for you to look taller, more muscular, or more prettier, or have more curves. And the perfection in the body, as in one study have shown, found that underweight boys are more likely to suffer from depression than overweight girls. So it's not only girls. Thin, short boys have also suffered from depression. So what are the causes of low self-esteem and what are the causes for body dissatisfaction. I want to start by saying weight. Weight is the most important factor reported to be the cause for low self-esteem or negative body image. According to many researchers, girls above the 50th percentile, meaning they are slightly overweight, have greater body dissatisfaction compared to those who are below the 50th percentile. Knowing many of the high schoolers, boys and girls, I have seen, especially among girls, how much when they are overweight, that hurts them, causes them to be depressed, losing their self-confidence. They don't want to be in meetings. They don't want to appear in front of others. They don't want to take a chance. They don't want to take any risk. They don't apply for certain jobs. They are really coming into a state of depression. So weight is a major reason for body dissatisfaction. And I want to say not just girls, but even boys also have the same issue. The second most important cause for negative body image or body dissatisfaction is social media. There is a report published by the Wall Street Journal in September 2021, so about a year ago. Basically, they looked at the social media platform Instagram, which is issued by Facebook, and they reported it's harmful to teen girls' body image and well-being. And unfortunately, many media do not want to publicize this report. Why? Because they want to continue using Instagram and Snapchat and other social media, which by many resources have shown it causes very low self-image. So those girls who are always trying to get their best selfie and the best angle, for them they look prettier, no acne, nice hair, the ear is not sticking out, and many other things. They spend so much time and they put so much pressure on them because they don't look in their own eyes perfect. But Facebook and Instagram are pushing them to do such that, and hence our children, boys and girls, are suffering from being very dissatisfied of their body image. So the first reason is overweight. The second reason is the social media pressure. And again, in the social media, I want to report to you that the prevalence of thinner girls, muscular boys, perfect body, almost huge photoshopping made our boys and girls be under so much pressure because they cannot look like what they see in the social media. And unfortunately, they suffer from a low and negative body image. I am getting some questions, but I'm hoping I can collect more, so please send me your questions, especially if you are a teenager. I would love to hear from you because today's topic is for you and about you. The next reason or cause of negative self-esteem is really parental criticism. If you are a parent and listening to me, or you are a child, then you know what I'm talking about. Parents' continual criticism of their child's weight, bad hair, bad scores in school, failures, they really push their children into completely dissatisfied with their body image. According to Findley, in one of the reports published, they say pressure to diet, parental role modeling of dieting, weight-relating teasing, and participation in weight-related sports are associated with increased rates of dieting and extreme weight control behavior. So parents, you are sometimes too much on your kids. You want them to be the best. So you tell them you are eating much, you are overweight, nobody will like you, nobody will marry you, your hair's horrible. This pressure is not helping. And I'm speaking on behalf of all my sons and daughters. I am asking the parents to please start watching the way you criticize your children. You are not helping by telling her she's overweight. That's not what is supposed to happen. Unfortunately, this is also can happen from teachers and other adults who they tend to praise others and compare some with others, and all of a sudden our children are being compared with the thinner, more successful, better behaving, and all of a sudden our kids want to do wrong things because they are lashing out, because they hate themselves and they hate you, because you are also always putting them down. So rather than you tell him you always fail, you should not take in the shot if you don't know how to put the score in the basketball hoop, maybe you can say, you didn't win this time, but maybe the next time I'm sure you will. Maybe you can say, I know you will have more friends the next time you go, rather than you tell him, you never make good friends. I think you can tell him, it's not your fault that you are gaining weight, but maybe you and I can go to the gym together. Maybe I need to lose weight as well, so let's help each other. Parents, you are a cause, and sometimes you are very unhelpful, and you make your children become more unsatisfied with their body image, and that only result in depression, in diet problems, anorexia, and many other things. Some of the consequences, especially for parents who keep telling their daughters you are overweight, you will never, nobody will look at you, when you grow up you will never get married, that they go into eating disorders. And as many of the publications that came, they showed that body dissatisfaction is a risk factor for depression and poor self-esteem, and a predictor of substance abuse and eating disorder. Many of our daughters are binging, then vomiting. Why? Because they want to eat, but in the same time they are afraid to gain weight, because mom on their back telling her you are overweight and you are not helping. So they go into an eating disorder. And this eating disorder results in, unfortunately, in depression. One of the bad things that can cause body dissatisfaction is the voice in your own head. You as a teenager, you keep saying to yourself, I will never make friends. I will never be good. Nobody will like me. I will never pass the ball right. I will never get the good scores. I will always be C-. Stop listening to the voice in your head. That voice is just destroying you, pulling you down, and not helping you to go up. So, another reason, cause for why our children, teens and tweens and young youth, suffering from a negative body image is the pressure by their peers. The peers can be a very good motivator for people to get better, but can also be a bad way to pull them down. Some of the studies have shown 40% of young people, slightly more in girls than boys, agreed that their friends cause them to worry about their self-image. Another survey found that 68% of boys cited friends as a source of pressure to look good. So our friends can be a pressure, sometimes not a positive pressure, but rather a negative one, because they keep making fun of you, they mock you, they hurt you, they speak bad about you, they joke. They joke about your weight, they joke about the size of your skirt, or they joke about your face, or they joke about your hair. So one of the bad reasons for us to develop negative body image is unfortunately peers. So let me summarize what I said. What are the causes for negative body image? Number one, and has to be number one, is overweight. Being an overweight carries a weight, because you gaining weight will hurt you in the long run and will make you feel you are not good in your own eyes, let alone the eyes of others. And unfortunately, overweight is a risk factor for many other things. And actually, it's a risk factor for both males and females, not just girls. So, mom and dad, please watch out by your kids gaining weight at 7th grade and above. This is going to hurt them. This is going to affect their friendships with others. Will make them don't want to be with people. You are taking it easy and you're making as if it's nothing, but actually overweight is a major cause. The second reason is social media, and I explained how Instagram was published last year to be a major reason for depression because of low self-esteem and negative body image among adolescents. 3. Criticism by parents. Parents who mean well, who have good intentions, but unfortunately they do not have the right tactic. They make fun of their boys and girls when they gain weight, or they fail in something, or they don't succeed, and they keep comparing them to other kids, and they make the other kids look better because they think by comparing them their own will be improving, not knowing they are hurting them worse and worse and making them become negatively looking at themselves in the mirror. You all remember the very old story, mirror, mirror, am I the most pretty woman? Well, I'm asking every boy and girl, when you look at the mirror, are you happy with yourself? Are you content with the way you look? I wish I convey to you that God have created you in the best image in His own, and He loves you the way you are, but you need to combat the voice in your heads that telling you stop loving yourself, the voice in your head that telling you you are a failure or you will never be good in the eyes of anyone. Please remember that God cares and loves you regardless how much weight you have put on, how much taller or shorter you are. One of the other reasons for negative body image is the effect of the peers, or the negative effect of the peers. Peers who are criticizing each other, who are making fun of you, who pull you down. Teachers, learning to do wrong things, all of that are really makes you lose your confidence in yourself. Okay, so what do we do about it? What do we do about the low self-esteem? Before I do that, I would like to bring a story from the Old Testament, from 1 Samuel chapter 16. This is the story when God asked Samuel the prophet to go and find one of the sons of Jesse, and they were 12. And Samuel started looking for the tallest, most handsome, most muscular one of the brothers. And every time he brings one to God, he will think that he is bringing the apple of the eye, that must be the one God is looking for, because he is tall, he is handsome, he's muscular, he's intelligent. But God each time will tell him, do not consider his appearance or his height, for I have rejected him, one after another. Until there was a rejected, forgotten even by his own father, David. David was forgotten. The father brought 11 boys, each one is in his own eyes better than the other. And when they were all rejected, Samuel asked, is there any other one? He said, yeah, there is one other kid, but I left him with the sheep. He is weak, he is small, he is short, he is young, he is not muscular. All what he does, he sings and he stays with the sheep. And God says, the Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outer appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. The Lord looks at the heart, meaning if all of us will look at each other and say, he is good in this, he must be smart in this, I like him because he is, God will look at the heart and says, but I like this one. So I'm telling every young woman and every young man, please do not believe the voice in your eyes and your head, from your peers, even from your parents, that telling you are not good enough, you are not worth it, you are a failure, you are not pretty, you are not handsome, you are not successful. Reject, because God looks at the inside, while man looks at the outer appearance. Look where David became and where his other 11 brothers were. The 11 were loved and cared for by the people. But when God chooses, he chooses according to the heart, according to your inner self, not according to the outer. So please, when you come to take a selfie, please do not keep trying because you don't look and you don't like yourself. Remember, you are much more precious than an Instagram is trying to tell you. So, what if my self-esteem is low? What do I do? And I'm speaking to the teens, and I'll also speak to the parents. The first thing I would like to say, please be with people who are nice to you. Don't stay with friends who are harsh, who keeps mocking, who keeps belittling, who keeps making fun of you, who keeps putting you down. Those are not the right group. Even if they are the most famous and most glamorous and people like to be with them, ignore them. Be with those who are kind, who are humble, who loves you for who you are, not how you look like. Please remember, there are many of us like to be with people, but sometimes those people are more hurting than benefiting. So, number one, be with people who treat you well. Find people you can be yourself with. Be that type of friend for others. Number two, remember I told you about the voice in your head, and that voice is always reminding you are a failure, you are not good, you are fat, you are whatever. I want you to say good things, helpful things to yourself. Tune in and do not be critical. Tune in to a good voice and reject the critical voice in your head. The voice that tells you you will never be a good player. The voice that tells you you are always going to be a failure. The voice that tells you my brother or my cousin is far successful. I want you to tune in to a different voice. Listen to the voice that tells you I can do it. I can be better. I can work out. I can be successful. One day I'll achieve what I want to. Number three, do not be too hard on yourself, because many of us are too hard on ourselves because our peers or parents are hard on us. It's enough that peers and parents were hard. Do not be another hard person on yourself. Be that kind person on you, because you can achieve many great things. Be that, read your new phrases often and rewrite to yourself, I am going to be successful. I am going to get good scores. I am going to become the person I strive to be. And reread these sentences to yourself. Remind yourself with those strong positive attitude sentences, because those are the ones who are going to tune out the negative and tune in the positive. Remember David, who was rejected by his own father and brothers, but was so much respected, adored, looked after by God. And he became son of Samuel and the favorite disciple of Samuel, amazing prophet. He wasn't the most loved or favorite son to his father, but he and his heart was according to the heart of God. And Samuel loved him, and he became his favorite son. So please, whenever you hear that voice, look at verses like the ones I gave you, that God looks at the heart while people look at the outward. Please remember to not to be too hard on yourself. So number one, be with people who treat you so well, and reject those friends who keeps mocking, hurting, criticizing, and they are too critical of you. One of the questions that came from a teenager, 14 years old girl, that she writes, I love my mother, but I don't like my dad. I used to love him a lot, but since he started making fun of the way I am not passing with great scores like my sister, I try to avoid him. Now I am afraid I am getting to a point that I may hate him. What do I do? I wish your dad is listening, because your dad is making a huge mistake. You could be his friend. You could be the person standing by him, God forbid, when he gets sick. But you could be also the person who doesn't care anymore about him. Your dad, unfortunately, is making a crime. By him comparing you with your sister, he's making two crimes. The first crime, that you will start not liking your sister, which I'm glad you didn't say that. You seem like you have an amazing heart, and in spite of the comparison, you still have a great love to your sister. Please keep it this way, because you have an amazing heart, and I love you for that. But the second mistake your dad is doing, he's putting you and pushing you and pressing you down. And that's not going to help you. So for the dad, I beg you, I urge you, please stop comparing. Please stop making fun of your daughter. If you want to criticize, do not ever compare. Talk about what happened as negative, but what can she achieve as positives. Tell her, I know you didn't do good last time, but I know you can do far better. I trust in you. I know how capable you are, how smart you are. I have seen you, and I have so much trust that next time you will do better. This is the way you want your daughter to grow and to compete with the voice within herself, who unfortunately you echoed, and you made it as if validated that her voice is telling her she's not as good as her sister. Another question. I'm a 16-year-old boy who I'm doing good in school, but I don't like to be with any other group because my acne are horrible, and every time I get the acne, I try not to leave home. I look in the mirror and I compare myself to others, and I find that I think he's trying to say, I look awful. So, thank you, my son, for trusting me with an amazing question. I appreciate that, and I appreciate the trust. Number one, the acne, scientifically speaking, are due to bursts of hormones in your age. As you said, you are 15 or 16. This is completely normal. Whether you as a boy or even another person who have acne and a girl, completely normal to have acne in the bursts of hormones during adolescence. After the age of 18, maximum 19, the hormones will plateau and the acne will stop coming. Let me give you a medical opinion. Number one, please do not try to scratch them. Do not try to squeeze them. Do not try to play with them. If you must, get hot compresses and try to pat them with the hot compresses, because this will allow the fats to be removed and the skin to open up, to vasodilate and absorb whatever is there. Hot compresses wherever the acne is, but don't scratch and don't play with it. If you have nails, cut your nails so you don't scratch. Number three, if you must see a skin doctor, there are plenty of ointments and creams and shampoos that help you to have less fatty skin until the hormones stop playing games with you. But I agree with you. It's annoying. And if you were a girl, you probably would have been as upset. You don't want to be with people. And there are kids, maybe you are one of them, their acne are a little more spread in the face and the forehead more than others. Please use what I said and do not worry. Stop eating lots of chocolate. That also makes it worse. Use the hot water compresses and see a skin doctor, but do not play in them. But a final advice though, please have more trust in yourself. Your face is not your personality. Your face is not your personality. You have an amazing face that happens to go through a bout of hormonal changes. Eventually will go back to normal. But your personality is how people measure you. They don't measure you how you look. They measure you how you react, what's your attitude, how kind you are, how much loving you are, how sincere and loyal to your friends. Be that. Be all of that. Be the basketball player. Be kind to your friends. Be loyal and sincere to others. But do not stop going out. Don't let the acne take away from you the fun. Don't let the acne make you put yourself in and you don't go out. Another question. Do you think one should persist on not allowing Snapchat into a teen's life, or we can trust them to use it wisely? I'm going to speak to you as a teenager. I am your 14-year-old girl. How can your mom trust me? How much I know as a 14-year-old to tell my mother that whatever I'm watching is safe and cool and nice? Since when I have the wisdom of a mother? Since when I, as a teenager, have the wisdom of a father? Of course, you have the right to check what your children are doing and watching, but do not be tyrant. Do not be angry. Sit with them and tell them how true the social media, how true this person who is wearing these clothes, how true the stories are being brought. Give your teens the ability to discern what is right within social media, but you need to be the chaperone. You need to be the measure and the judge and the final referee to tell her, do you see? Do you think this was a good guide to follow or a good program to follow? It looks to me the ideas they are putting are far worse than the truth they are bringing. Let your boys and girls sniff out the good from the bad. But don't also give them everything and say, oh, I trust you, do everything. No, you may trust her, but you don't trust the media. I told you, the Wall Street Journal itself in September 14, 2021, published a survey about adolescent girls who are suffering from major depression because of Instagram and Snapchat. But nobody's talking about it because social media does not want to put this on the light. It's up to the parenting, up to you parents, and you must do your job. God have given you the responsibility of parenting, and you better do it right because this is your most expensive investment, your girls and your boys. Another question. A parent is saying, my daughter is overweight. I have been doing everything you have been saying. Unfortunately, I told her she's overweight many times, and I even told her, when you grow up, nobody will marry you. I'm surprised that you were saying exactly the things we did as if you were living in our house. Now I hurt her so much. Is there any hope in me? Thank you for the trust, Mom. Of course, there is a hope in you. You think any of us, including myself, did everything right in parenting? Of course not. Do you think every single parent know what he or she is doing? Of course not. Do you think our children came with a book of instructions of how to assemble them and raise them? Of course not. Do you think any of us have taken enough courses before we raise our kids? Majority not. So we all make mistakes, and that's the beauty of a program like this, for us to learn and to be ready at it. So you have done wrong things. No question about it. I'm not going to sweeten the pie by telling you you don't mean it. You were wrong. By you criticizing and picking on your girls, and maybe her genes is coming from mom and dad who happen to carry some of the genes of overweight. I have known families, they don't eat much, but they are overweight. So maybe she has that gene. So why are you blaming her? Number two, maybe you are such a great cook and you bring all types of carbs and desserts in every day. You bring lasagna and bread and basbousa and I know what in one dinner. After this, you think your girl will not be overweight? Number four, have you ever paid the dues for you and your daughter to go to the gym together? Not because she's overweight, but because you need to go to the gym, Mom. So that's one exercise you must do. Tell her, I want to go to the gym, but I'm embarrassed to go alone. Can you please come with me? And make sure you go so your daughter can go. Tell her, listen, I want to put all of us on a diet program because I found dad's cholesterol is high or my cholesterol is high, and all of us are going to work together to lower our fatty diet and make it a target of for the whole family. Maybe you will tell her, I want you to help me to learn how to cook right for the whole family so all of us can eat right. Maybe you want to take her to an endocrinologist to check just in case, medically speaking, she has a hormonal imbalance. But please, if you have done a mistake, do not keep dwell in it. You have all the rest of your life to fix it. And the great thing about our boys and girls, they are very malleable, and you can work out many good things, and you can make your girl become balanced again. I want to come to this point and then I'll answer one more question. The next point, I was saying how to treat low self-esteem. Number one, talking to the teens. Be with the people who treat you well. Say helpful things to yourself. Do not be too hard on yourself. Number four, and I'm speaking to teens but also to mom and dad, accept what's not perfect. Your hair is not perfect. Your stature, your height is not perfect. You can't do anything about it. Fine. You are not good in basketball and you tried and tried and you failed. You're not perfect in this. Accept what's not perfect, but look what you are good at and perfect it. So if you are not good in basketball, but you are great in swimming, excel in it. If your hair is not good, why don't you find the right shampoo or the right hair treatment and make your mom and dad, and I'm speaking to them now, to take you to that hair salon to straighten your hair to look the way you want it to look. There is nothing wrong with that. I have a big problem with cosmetic surgery, but I have no problem if you want to go to a doctor for acne or you want to go to a doctor because of hormonal problems, or you want to fix your hair. There's nothing wrong with that. So accept what's not perfect. And mom and dad, please know when you come to praise, praise about the behavior, not about the character. You can't say you are so smart. What if his brother is not smart? He didn't do anything wrong, but he's not smart. But you can say, I love you are working so hard. I am admiring that you are working so hard. I can see you are going to succeed because you're spending so much time in solving the problem. He may be smart or not smart, but you are praising the behavior, not the character. And you, mom and dad, accept what's not perfect in your kid. One of the questions which came not this week but before, my daughter doesn't like piano while her sister is so perfect. And the mom is so upset. What's wrong with that? Why she has to like piano? Why the daughter may like dancing or gym or swimming or painting or photography or maybe other strings, guitar or something. Why she has to love what the parent love or the sister loves? Accept what's not perfect. Maybe your son or daughter excellent in math, but he is horrible in science. But one day he is going to be in the field of engineering and all of that, and he may need science much. Accept what's not perfect. Work with him to improve him. Get him after school, get him tutoring, help your daughter to go to the hair salon, take your son to the skin doctor. All of that are good. But at the end, accept what's not perfect. Another point, please, as a teenager, give and help. The more you help others, the less you will be focused on the negatives on yourself. Those of you who go to the homeless shelter or the soup kitchen or helping in a summer camp are less focused on the negatives they may have because they are looking at so much that others do not have and they are trying to help them. When you give and when you help, you get more positive within you because your value increases. There is another question that says, okay. It's unrelated to the topic. It's about inheritance among children. Should we be splitting inheritance equally or depending on each one needs? In my opinion, I don't know what the church opinion, it should be equal. Then if you have built love among your boys and girls, one of them may say, Dad, I don't want give my brother half of mine. I have a better job and he needs it more. But you as a dad, you need to be fair and equal. Maybe we can cover it in another time, but I think that's enough for now. Okay. My 14-year-old daughter, she's very moody and sometimes depressed as a result of her menstrual cycle, or if she is having other issues. I guess what she's asking, that is being moody related to hormonal imbalance, or maybe she has another reason. Number one, please be kind on your daughter because you yourself probably have lots of moodiness and your mood may go up and down many times. So Please do not judge your daughter on the things that you do not judge yourself or your husband. Number two, please talk to your daughter. Tell her, I see today you are not as happy as before. Is there something I can help you with? Do you want to talk about something? Many of our girls, they take the cover of the menstrual cycle, but they are depressed because of something else. And they say, oh, it's the time of the month. But they are sad because something else. Because another girl in school made fun of her, made fun of her accents or last name or shape or hair or maybe because she doesn't have a boyfriend. Talk to your daughter. Don't assume this moodiness is related to hormones. It could be a completely different topic. I want to say also to my boys and girls, please focus on what you do good, not only focus on what you do bad. We tend, because we like as parents, perfectionist parents, we push you to the limit and we make you feel, why are you 90%? Why are you not 99%? And if you are 99, why you are not 100%? But I want you as a kid to balance what is good, what you are good in, and what you are not too good in. Believe me, when they made something called the average score, because they know that some kids are so good in math and less good in something else, but they will give you a GPA. That's your final average. Maybe if you are going to medical school, they will look at science. If you're going to engineering, they look at math. But at the end, you're average. Please average out. Always look at the good you have when the voice in your head is telling you about the less that you don't have. If your head is telling you your hair is bad, tell him, but I have a beautiful face. People always love my face. If they tell you have so much acne in your face, tell them, but people like my personality and they like to talk to me because I'm kind. If they tell you you are short, tell them, but I can play and run farther and harder and faster than anybody else. Balance. Talk to yourself about the good you have, not just the negative that you don't have. I want to also leave you with an advice to my kids, boys and girls, teenagers, the age I love the most. Please remember, social media is a powerful tool. I cannot tell you don't use it because I'm using it as we speak now. But I'm asking you to not believe every single thing you hear. There is plenty of misinformation. Plenty of misinformation. Please be critical of what you read and what you hear, and certainly what you see. Number two, please do not conform with social media. If you see a girl in a certain position, don't take a selfie. You want to look like her. If you see a boy making his muscles appear in a way like this or holding a bottle of something, don't try to conform. You are better than that. I want you to be unique. I want you to be David. David is going to be the king. David the prophet. David the psalmist. David the one whose heart is similar to God's heart. But in the same time, David was not liked by his brothers. David was ignored by his parents. David was put down by many of his tribe because he was a weak guy. He is only good for the sheep. But in the eyes of God, he was good to reign a kingdom, to rule over a nation. When everybody tells you you are nothing, think of David. Because when people told him you are nothing and we forgot about you, God remembered him and made him the ruler of a nation and the one who came from his inheritance. I hope you enjoyed this episode from our show Family Matters. This particular one was about building your body image. Until we meet again, may God give you amazing time and God bless.